voters across the state go to the polls in fewer than 24 hours, and before they started campaigning, each candidate had to qualify way back last August.
During the campaign season, everyone running for office is required to turn in documents and let the state know how much money they're raising and who is donating.
But some do not, and Louisiana, a cash-strapped state, is owed hundreds of thousands of dollars.
We have to find a realistic way to get back some of this money that's in outstanding fines.
And the people whom some say need to pay up aren't even trying to hide away. Some are names that you'll know.
WDSUI team reporter Travers Mackel is live at 6 now with why some say the state needs to get serious and how the Ethics Board does not appear to be enforcing its own rules. Travers?
Scott, it's money some state lawmakers say could be used for a number of things, but many of the people on this list appear to be in no rush to pay up, and the state isn't really forcing them to do so either.
Blocking me for? What are you blocking? I'm just trying to figure out what she blocking me for.
No stranger to the spotlight, civil rights activist Raymond Brown has challenged those in power on police misconduct, hiring practices in government, and public corruption.
We feel that it's time that America wake up.
And while he's pleaded for justice at rallies like this, he's currently in violation of state ethics laws. Records show Brown owes the state almost $10,000 in fines. They stem from when he ran for Orleans Parish criminal sheriff back in 2004. And Brown isn't alone. In fact, he's far from the only person who owes money. More than 600 people who've previously run for public office owe more than $900,000.
Run that office properly.
Remember when local radio host Corey Johnson ran for city council at large after Oliver Thomas resigned? He still owes the state $2,500. Barry Bernatus ran twice for sheriff in St. Bernard Parish and is currently a volunteer for a candidate running for district attorney there. He owes almost $3,000. Former Orleans Parish School Board members Jimmy Fahrenholtz and Thomas Robichaux are two of the biggest culprits on this list. Robichaux owes just over $18,000 and Fahrenholtz owes more than $20,000. Some of those fines dating back more than a decade. And longtime Orleans Parish School Board critic Sandra Wheeler Hester, who ran unsuccessfully for a seat on the school board in 2004, owes $10,000. She failed to file paperwork during that election season. Johnson is on the airwaves daily. Bernatus has been visible in current campaigns, and Fahrenholtz, Robichaux, and Hester all reside in the metro area. None are hiding.
Just like private businesses, uncollectibles, accounts receivable are a problem for governments as well.
Tulane University political analyst Mike Sherman says most of the people who owe money lost their races and currently do not hold public office. And there are very few consequences for not paying up.
Don't pay your credit card bill, watch Visa go destroy your credit. Don't pay your property tax bill, you can go watch online as your house is sold. Don't pay your ethics fine unless you're going to run for office again. There's not much of a hammer right now, and that's our challenge we find ourselves in.
That's correct. The state has not taken legal action against anyone on this long list. No names here have been turned over to the Attorney General for prosecution, nor to the state treasurer. No civil suits have been filed, and no collection agency has been retained. It's basically the honor system, says State Representative Cameron Henry.
And regardless of what it's for, it's your responsibility to pay it.
The State Ethics Administration says this year it sent letters to all people who owe and took in over $70,000. They called it an aggressive campaign, but less than 10% of what's owed was actually collected. The state also vowed to report anyone who's delinquent but qualified to run again for office.
Got a brother in the race for U.S. Senate, brother?
But Brown was, for a time, allowed as a candidate for U.S. Senate. He was only disqualified from the Senate race after a member of the public filed a civil lawsuit against him, citing the outstanding ethics fines as a reason.
If you're never going to run for office again, then that is no longer a factor, so therefore you can pretty much ignore that. So we have to go after things that you're going to continuously do every year, every 4 years.
That's why Henry's looking at crafting legislation with some more bite. It would yank a Louisiana driver's license from anyone with unpaid ethics fines.
So it really is going to stem from whether this administration or the legislature wants to step up and come up with some bills that will actually put some teeth into some of the ethical reforms that we did, and more importantly, make sure fines are paid.
Mike Sherman says that may be the only way to get people to start paying.
By and large, whenever you have a large number of smaller dollar amounts to collect, it's very difficult to do so because the cost of collection makes it very difficult to do.
And if lawmakers do in fact address this issue in the 2015 session, it won't be the first time elected leaders have tried to put teeth into an ethics enforcement issue. Sulla?
All right, Travers, thanks. A bill sponsored by Senator J.P. Morrell that was signed into law gives the state AG more power to prosecute contractors in the solar industry. That bill was signed into law this summer.